How many vocabulary words are needed to speak basic English? The number of vocabulary words needed to speak basic English can vary, but generally, a basic level of proficiency may be achieved with a vocabulary of around 1,000 to 1,500 words. This would allow someone to engage in simple conversations, understand and use everyday expressions, and handle common situations like introducing oneself, asking for directions, or ordering food. Learning basic vocabulary typically includes words related to everyday activities, common objects, numbers, colors, family members, and simple verbs and adjectives. Keep in mind that language proficiency is not solely determined by the number of words one knows. Grammar, pronunciation, and the ability to use language in context are also crucial elements of fluency. If you're starting to learn English, focusing on essential, high-frequency words and phrases will help you build a foundation for effective communication in various everyday situations. As you progress, you can expand your vocabulary to handle more complex conversations and topics.
Adventure. An adventure is a fun or exciting thing that you do.
Riding in the rough water was an adventure.
Approach. To approach something means to move close to it.
The boy approached his school.
Carefully. Carefully means with great attention, especially to detail or safety.
The baby carefully climbed down the stairs.
Chemical. A chemical is something that scientists use in chemistry.
The scientist mixed the chemicals.
Create. To create means to make something new.
She created an igloo from blocks of snow.
Evil. Evil describes something or someone bad or cruel, not good.
The evil figure scared us all.
Experiment. An experiment is a test that you do to see what will happen.
The student did an experiment in science class.
Kill. To kill someone or something is to make them die.
I killed the fly with a fly swatter.
Laboratory. A laboratory is a room where a scientist works.
My mother works in a laboratory.
Laugh. Laugh is the sound made when someone is happy or a funny thing occurs.
The sound of their laugh filled the room.
Loud. If a sound is loud, it is strong and very easy to hear.
The man's voice was so loud that we all could hear him.
Nervous. When a person is nervous, they think something bad will happen.
The boy became nervous when he heard the news.
Noise. A noise is an unpleasant sound.
The crying baby made a loud noise.
Project. A project is a type of work that you do for a school or a job.
His afternoon work project was to paint the room green.
Scare. To scare means to cause one to feel frightened.
I was scared by the sight of the monster.
Secret. A secret is something that you do not tell other people.
The two boys were sharing a secret.
Shout. To shout is to say something loudly.
My boss shouted at me because I was late for work.
Smell. To smell something means to use your nose to sense it.
The two friends smelled the flower.
Terrible. If something is terrible, it is very bad.
The way he treated his classmate was terrible.
Worse. If something is worse, it is of poorer quality than another thing.
Business was worse this month than last month.
The laboratory. Mia's father had a laboratory, but she had no idea what was in it. Her dad always closed and locked the door when he went in. She knew that he used it to do projects for work. He never told Mia what these projects were. One night, Mia approached the door to the laboratory. She stopped and thought, "I wonder what crazy experiment he is doing now." Suddenly, she heard a loud noise. It sounded like an evil laugh. The noise scared her, so she walked quickly back to her room. The next night, her friend Liz came to her house. When Liz arrived, Mia told her about the night before. "Oh, it was terrible," she said. "Why don't we see what is in there?" Liz asked. "It will be a fun adventure." Mia felt nervous about going into her father's laboratory, but she agreed. As always, the door was locked. They waited until Mia's father left the laboratory to eat dinner. "He didn't lock the door," Liz said. "Let's go." The laboratory was dark. The girls walked down the stairs carefully. Mia smelled strange chemicals. What terrible thing was her father creating? Suddenly, they heard an evil laugh. It was even worse than the one Mia heard the night before. What if a monster was going to kill them? Mia had to do something. She shouted for help. Mia's father ran into the room and turned on the lights. "Oh no," he said. "You must have learned my secret." "Your monster tried to kill us," Mia said. "Monster?" he asked. "You mean this?" He had a pretty doll in his hands. The doll laughed. The laugh didn't sound so evil anymore. "I made this for your birthday. I wanted to give it to you then, but you can have it now. I hope you like it." Afraid. When someone is afraid, they feel fear.
The woman was afraid of what she saw.
Agree. To agree is to say yes, or to think the same way.
The food is very good in that restaurant. I agree with you.
Angry. When someone is angry, they may want to speak loudly or fight.
She didn't do her homework, so her father is angry.
Arrive. To arrive is to get to or reach some place.
The bus always arrives at the corner of my street at 4.
Attack. To attack is to try to fight or to hurt.
The man with the sword attacked the other man first.
Bottom. The bottom is the lowest part.
The bottom of my shoe has a hole in it.
Clever. When someone is clever, they can solve a hard puzzle or problem.
The clever boy thought of a good idea.
Cruel. When someone is cruel, they do bad things to hurt others.
The cruel man yelled at his sister.
Finally. If something happens finally, it happens after a long time or at the end.
He finally crossed the finish line after 5 hours of running.
Hide. To hide is to try not to let others see you.
The other children will hide while you count to 100.
Hunt. To hunt is to look for or search for an animal to kill.
Long ago, people hunted with bows and arrows.
Lot. A lot means a large number or amount of people, animals, things, etc.
There are a lot of apples in the basket.
Middle. The middle of something is the center or halfway point.
The Canadian flag has a maple leaf in the middle of it.
Moment. A moment is a second or a very short time.
I was only a few moments late for the meeting.
Pleased. When someone is pleased, they are happy.
She was pleased with the phone call she received.
Promise. To promise is to say you will do something for sure.
He promised to return my key by tomorrow.
Reply. To reply is to give an answer or say back to someone.
She asked him what time his meeting was. He replied at 3.
Safe. When a person is safe, they are not in danger.
Put on your seatbelt in the car to be safe.
Trick. A trick is something you do to fool another person.
His card trick really surprised us.
Well. You use well to say that something was done in a good way.
The couple can dance quite well. The Lion and the Rabbit. A cruel lion lived in the forest. Every day he killed and ate a lot of animals. The other animals were afraid the lion would kill them all. The animals told the lion, "Let's make a deal. If you promise to eat only one animal each day, then one of us will come to you every day. Then you don't have to hunt and kill us." The plan sounded well thought out to the lion, so he agreed. But he also said, "If you don't come every day, I promise to kill all of you the next day." Each day after that, one animal went to the lion so that the lion could eat it. Then all the other animals were safe. Finally, it was the rabbit's turn to go to the lion. The rabbit went very slowly that day, so the lion was angry when the rabbit finally arrived. The lion angrily asked the rabbit, "Why are you late?" "I was hiding from another lion in the forest. That lion said he was the king, so I was afraid." The lion told the rabbit, "I am the only king here. Take me to that other lion and I will kill him." The rabbit replied, "I will be happy to show you where he lives." The rabbit led the lion to an old well in the middle of the forest. The well was very deep with water at the bottom. The rabbit told the lion, "Look in there. The lion lives at the bottom." When the lion looked in the well, he could see his own face in the water. He thought that was the other lion. Without waiting another moment, the lion jumped into the well to attack the other lion. He never came out. All of the other animals in the forest were very pleased with the rabbit's clever trick.
Alien. An alien is a creature from a different world.
The alien came in peace.
Among. If you are among certain things, they are all around you.
There was a red apple among the green ones.
Chart. A chart is a list of information.
We used a chart to see how we had improved.
Cloud. A cloud is a group of water drops in the sky.
The sky was filled with white clouds.
Comprehend. To comprehend something is to understand it.
Henry could not comprehend the message.
Describe. To describe is to say or write what someone or something is like.
They described their tree as colorful, with gold ribbon and a star.
Ever. Ever means at any time.
Going skiing last winter was the most fun I've ever had.
Fail. To fail means you do not succeed in what you try to do.
Since he failed to get the job, he was sad.
Friendly. Friendly is behaving in a pleasant, kind way toward someone.
The friendly animals came up to the girl.
Grade. A grade is a score or mark given to someone's work.
I managed to get good grades on my report card.
Instead. Instead means in place of.
He ate the carrot instead of the ice cream.
Library. A library is a place where you go to read books.
The library at school is full of books.
Planet. A planet is a large round thing in space.
Saturn is the planet with the ring around it.
Report. A report is something students write for school.
Karen had trouble writing her report.
Several. Several is more than two, but not many.
He had to read several books for class.
Solve. To solve something is to find an answer to it.
All the students could easily solve the math problem.
Suddenly. If something happens suddenly, it happens quickly and unexpectedly.
I was suddenly surprised by the cake my friends brought me.
Suppose. To suppose is to guess.
I suppose I should go home now.
Universe. The universe is the known or supposed objects in space.
The universe is so large that it cannot be measured.
View. To view is to look at something.
Michael likes to view himself in the mirror. The report. Lee sat among the books at the library and thought about his group project. They had to turn it in soon, but he hadn't even started his part. Jack and Claire were in his group. They had worked hard. They were also very smart, and Lee didn't want them to get a bad grade. Jack did the report. He wrote a lot of very good sentences and described things with great adjectives. Claire drew a nice map of the stars. Now Lee needed to do his part of the project. Well, I suppose I need to start my model, Lee thought. Making a model of a planet was really hard. Lee tried to read several books, but he couldn't comprehend any of the charts. "We're going to fail because of me," Lee said. He put his head down on the table and said, "I wish I could see a planet instead of having to read about it." Suddenly, there was a bright light. Lee was pulled from his chair, through the roof, and right into a strange ship. "Hello, kid," said an alien. "Did you ask for help?" Lee told the friendly alien all about his project. The alien agreed to help Lee solve his problem. "First, we'll fly through space to view the universe. Then I can help you make a model of my planet." Soon they were going through the clouds. They passed the moon. Then they viewed Mars. Lee was very excited. Instead of a bad grade, his group would have the best project ever. "It's time to go home," the alien finally said. On the way back, he helped Lee make a model of the planet Mars. Soon they were on Earth. "Thanks," Lee said. "My model will be awesome." Then he took his model and said goodbye to his new friend.
Appropriate. When a thing is appropriate, it is right or normal.
It's appropriate to wear a suit when you go to the office.
Avoid. To avoid something is to stay away from it.
Avoid the broken bottle on the floor.
Behave. To behave is to act in a particular way, especially to be good.
She always behaves well when her father is around.
Calm. When someone is calm, they do not get excited or upset.
A nice warm bath makes me feel so calm.
Concern. Concern is a feeling of worry.
I was filled with concern after reading the newspaper.
Content. To be content is to be happy and not want more.
The baby looked very content sitting on the floor.
Expect. If you expect something to happen, you believe it will happen.
I expect the bus to be here very soon.
Frequently. When something happens frequently, it happens often.
We meet frequently. either at the beginning or ending of the week.
Habit. A habit is a thing that you do often.
Smoking is a bad habit that can kill you.
Instruct. To instruct is to teach.
My teacher instructs us in several subjects.
Issue. An issue is an important topic.
The men spoke about issues that were important to the people.
None. None means not any of someone or something.
He spent all his money. There is none left.
Patient. If a person is patient, they don't become angry or upset easily.
I had to be patient and wait until 5 o'clock to leave.
Positive. If something is positive, it is good.
She has a positive future ahead of her after finishing college.
Punish. To punish means to make someone suffer for breaking the rules or laws.
To punish me, my teacher had me stand in the corner.
Represent. To represent is to speak or act for a person or group.
My lawyer will represent me in court.
Shake. To shake is to move back and forth or up and down quickly.
When people shake hands, it usually means they agree.
Spread. To spread is to move quickly to more places.
I like to spread butter on my toast.
Stroll. To stroll means to walk slowly and calmly.
My dog and I strolled through the park today.
Village. A village is a very small town.
There are only a few houses in my village.
The dog's bell. John's dog was a bad dog. He bit people frequently. John had great concern about this. It was not an appropriate way for a dog to behave. His friends in the village always expected the dog to bite them. The news about John's dog spread through the village. None of the people wanted to go to John's house. John tried to instruct the dog to behave, but it never worked. He tried to be patient and teach the dog to be calm. That also didn't work. John didn't want to punish the dog. How will I stop my dog's bad habit? John asked himself. John's friend came to talk to him about the issue. During their important meeting, his friend said, "The people in the village asked me to represent them. We want your dog to stop this habit. Why don't you put a bell around the dog's neck? This way, we would hear your dog coming down the street." John thought this was a great idea. Now people could stay away from the dog. It would not be able to bite anyone anymore. The dog liked the bell too. People looked at him when they heard his bell. This made the dog very content. He liked the song the bell played when he walked. One day, John's dog strolled through the village and met some other dogs. He expected them to want a bell like his. But they laughed at his bell. They said the bell made people avoid him. John's dog shook his head. "No, they look at me because they like the bell." The other dog said, "You have the wrong idea of what makes you popular. Of course they like your bell. It tells them where you are so they can avoid you. You aren't able to bite them anymore." You see, being popular isn't something positive when it's for the wrong reason.